Good morning, everyone. Oh, not in a good mood today. Am I, Maddie? He says, you still pet me. It's all right. I don't really know what's going on out there, but we do, don't we? 19 children and a teacher. Anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about? Well, then go and check out the news. It's all over the news in all different ways. And I don't know what. I'm going to start out with a couple of brothers that I know. One of them has a big mouth. He has a big mouth and he's got his home loaded with guns and this and that. And the reason for that is because, well, if anything, I'm gonna be able to, if you're on my bad side or whatever, Oh, really? Okay, then. And then there was the other one. He's passed away now. And he was one, didn't have much to say. He had his gun too, and this, that. And I had a goat that needed to be put on the table. When you have too many male goats, you can only have one billy goat. Two of them is not a good idea. Unless you fix them about 3 weeks into their life, and it's no big deal. You band them and it doesn't hurt them. It's a little uncomfortable to begin with, but then the little balls dry up and they fall off, and that is that. And they don't start to secrete all that stink and this and that goats do, right, to be the male. Okay. And you can raise them for food. You can't raise a billy goat for food if you don't fix them. You can't eat that meat. I guess you could, but ugh. Anyway, so I had one that was ready, and so I asked the one brother, had big mouth, this and that, how he can shoot. And he comes up, and I tied up the goat. I said, okay, here we go. Why don't you do it yourself? I think a woman should never kill anything, for that matter. So if I got someone else that, as I said, has a big mouth, can do that, then okay, then I'll take care of the rest. He comes up, ready, stands there, comes back, and he says, I can't do it. You can't do it. I said, why can't you do it? And he says, it's not running away. Oh, okay. So I called, actually, at that time already, I had to resort for someone else, and my son came and he took care of it. He had no problem knowing that, okay, that's food on the table. Anywho, so, but the other brother, I remember, I said, hey, I need you to help me with this, and he comes and no problem, good shot too. Animals didn't suffer. There is a difference right there, the attitude on owning a gun. And in the way that cult in our movement now is advocating, especially, semi-automatics like AR-15s, where you can go bang, 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 all at once. Is why do people need to have that? I'm not against guns. I'm not against people owning guns. I'm not against that for the right reasons. But to advocate something that can cause that kind of damage to start with, is why? Why do people need to have that? Most people don't need to have that. Most people aren't hunters in this country, and even a hunter doesn't goes hunting with that. At least most of the ones I know a couple who do. I don't know. I've never gotten meat from them, but okay, all right. So there is that. Then the other thing, a couple of years ago, what started happening? Now you guys are surprised? And even then, after that, I said there's going to be consequences to giving criminals that kind of power. And what is that teaching younger people? The guy that went in there and shut up all them children was 18 years old. 18. Just got out of childhood, teenagehood, still in teenagehood himself. And you don't hear anything about him, really. Okay, he's dead too. What's the solution? Interestingly, we just fostered a little German Shepherd puppy here. A beautiful little puppy. She's a great dog, but she's a German Shepherd. German Shepherds need training. German Shepherds need outdoor time. They need exercise. They need good guidance. Right? Yes, otherwise they can become a loaded gun. They're biters. They're trained to hurt people as well, right? Yes? Oh, not all of them. Well, it's in their DNA now. It is. You know, Rottweilers used to be way bigger than they are now, and they used to pull cannons for soldiers up a mountain. That's how big they were, right? And they were war dogs, just about. Dogs for war. That's how strong they were. That's how vicious they were, or vicious. That's what they did. Now, Rottweiler still, a Rottweiler that's not trained properly that's a loaded gun right there, too. But I said, oh, hey, wait a minute. And so my daughter comes to say, hey, I just read up on German Shepherds. There's way too many of them. They're asking breeders, stop breeding them. They have nowhere to go. The police doesn't need as many and to be trained and all that. And there's just not enough people who want all these German Shepherd puppies. So a lot of them end up in rescues. A lot of them end up being euthanized. I've seen plenty of really mean German Shepherds. Yeah, they had to be put down. Couldn't do anything with them anymore. Oh, but Jeez Louise. Yeah. Again, a dog is a dog, and if it's no good for anything, or there's no one that takes the time to do something with it, then what? Nobody has a problem. A lot of people out there don't have a problem just aborting children, and they haven't even done anything. They're not mean. They're not bad. They're not. Right? But here you are. You want to save every doggone dog. Okay. But I thought, how about somehow? There's so much money going everywhere. I don't know where, with our government, into stuff that I have to say, really? Okay. Well, anyway, how about? Can't we have a program where we start training dogs, German Shepherds, maybe other dogs, to guard the entrance to a school? And then you can put up a sign, beware of dogs or something. Criminals don't like dogs. Nobody with bad intentions, knowing that, because a dog doesn't have the same kind of conscience as a human being. Well, he's just running into the school. Okay, well then, okay, all right, A dog's going to go, no, who are you? Right? Yes? Oh, but then the children, come on now. One should give dogs a little bit more credit than that and teach the children, okay, this isn't a dog that you just go and pet and this and that. Yeah, have the sessions where you introduce the dogs to the children, right? And most likely, if they're handled properly, they won't have a problem with the children. They start to know, oh, these are okay. That's not okay. Right? Okay. Dogs. Right? I'm a big fan of dogs when it comes to protection. I really am. We got 4 big ones at the house, and I've told the story before on how 2 of them protected me somehow from something, and I wasn't sure what it was. And in a small community like mine, it goes around. She's got them dogs. Beware. They're okay, but. Boy, if they feel like she's not in trouble or you want to cause trouble, they're not gonna go for it. These dogs have never even been really trained. They just naturally know. Interesting? Yeah. So I just want to say something to this cult in our movement that wear our AR-15s and crowns, and they go to church with them and have these big pictures taken. This is like making a statement. When are you going to be angry enough? When are you going to be angry enough out there that you just start shooting around? When you had enough and you do something. When do you know? When are you going to know? When your automatic rifle needs to be put in action and kill a few people? When are you going to know that? Do we have mental problems in this country, and young people especially? Well, dear me, they're being put on antidepressants at such an early age now, and it is well known that antidepressants can have that reverse side effect of either going out, taking a few with you, or people just kill themselves. I know of personal experience of people in my community of that as well. Anyway. Then I saw another one where, the cop that could have stopped him, just saved himself. Okay, I'm sorry. Really? Where are you going to put the blame now? On a guy who is so restricted now? That was an 18-year-old. What if he would have taken out that 18-year-old without having that kid having killed anyone? What would you say then? Huh? What would you say then? Who would you want in jail then? Huh? Yes? Like has already happened. Why don't you go after all them actors and famous people who bailed criminals out of jail when they should have stayed there? In many areas, there aren't even enough cops anymore to take care of anything. Okay? They'll say, well, sorry, just take care of your own domestic problem. There isn't enough of us to go around. Because of why and who. Yeah. Just saying. It goes both ways. Neither party here, neither people here are going to like what I have to say, because we're all responsible for it. We're all guilty of whatever happened with 19 children and a teacher. We are. Due to the fact that we just can't think straight anymore. What about all them illegal drugs out there? We've had more suicides in the last year and this year due to overdoses. Oh, not because, again, they wanted to kill themselves, but because the stuff is so pure that comes into this country that the kids who are doing this, or the people who are doing this, shooting up drugs, that don't know that you're going to kill yourself with that. Having them illegal, did that do any good? It's not about making guns illegal or taking guns from everyone. It's the attitude that goes with and the reason for having a gun. I said I'd rather have a dog. If I got a dog in the car, I don't need a gun. I just don't. That's automatically already, for most criminals, a no-no. Huh? Yes? Anywho, same on your property. Alarm systems. A sign that says beware a dog. That's usually, yeah. How do you disarm that? Well, one could, yeah, you could. Try that with 4 of them. All right. Yes, very disturbing. It's very disturbing. It's already very disturbing on what's going on around there, according to it, with trying to blame this person or that person and or this thing or that thing, and not really realizing, wait a minute, a lot of you out there do know that you're the reason for this. You are the ones who decided that, oh, we don't need the protection from the police, on one hand, and the other side, well, we need to have these guns that don't belong in any civilian's hands. Also, this cult in our movement likes to bring up Switzerland and how Swiss people, have these automatic weapons. Go and read up on it. It isn't like that. It isn't like that at all. You guys don't know anything, and you just pull stuff out of your hat somewhere with unreasonable things other people are doing, which isn't true. It's not true. Anyway. Stupid. Just dumb. Anyway, so there it is. I have to say something. It's disturbing to me. I have grandchildren now. All of my children are out of school. I do know that in my mountain community, you can't get into a school. during just whatever hours to just get in there. You can't. It's all locked down. Buzz. Who are you? What are you here for? Oh, let me check. Even though everybody knows everybody in that community, they still will not take that chance. Now, if a little mountain community can do that, what? Everybody else can't? Oh, another thing too. I don't think that teachers need to take the responsibility of carrying a gun. That is, I've said that in another video, where if you are either trained, and you're trained every day to do that, and you got yourself under control, and you've been in, you know how to face situations like that. A teacher is not going to be able to do that. That is a unreasonable request of teachers to do that. That's not their job. Their job is to educate our children, and the government should also there too. I know how things work in a public school, on how restricted that teachers are to teach anything. And the curriculum that they have to go by, where their own self of wanting to be a teacher and express themselves as a teacher to the children that they're teaching, is hardly possible anymore because of all the restrictions. Oh, why is that? Oh, because everybody's got a beef against each other's beliefs. So stupid. Instead of letting our teachers teach. And again, in my little mountain community, that's still possible. I've seen what they have achieved with my youngest one, that went to school from first grade all the way up to high school. And all the teachers there, the principals, they did a fantastic job. Were allowed to do a fantastic job. They were all worked together and just kind of decided to do a fantastic job. Right? Even though. So you want to change something, then you've got to look at the bigger picture and say, well, it isn't just about gun violence. Okay? It's about the state of mind of the people. And where that has gone with all the stuff that happened over the last couple of years, and the consequences now are coming out. More so. And it's not the end yet. Unless, how about those, what do they call, big daddies or something? They go to the school. They have shifts. And they go to school, make sure that the young adults there, teenagers, it is at a high school. Maybe it needs to be at an elementary school as well. They go around, make sure everything's okay. You think that guy would have been able to do what he did if there would have been a group of dads there? Huh? Yet you want to blame a cop whose hands are so tied now because of your restrictions that you wanted for them, who had to just say, well, I can't shoot that kid right out here. I'll be going to jail. Yeah, that was a kid too. That was still a kid too. Killed all them kids. Anyway, I had to say something. Because I see where it is already going with the media and the politicians. Yes? Yeah. And you're just going to go for it. My condolences to all the families. I can't even imagine senseless deaths like that. But it's a collective sin. This isn't just a sin of that one young man who did that. This is a collective sin. A collective sin, I call it, because you're doing things out there for your own gain, for your own desires. You're not realizing what the consequences are to all that. Well, anyway, so there it is. Media and politicians, and then cult leaders, like we have some in our movement. Yeah, it's a splintered off group, but they're just crazy. In my opinion, they're just crazy. They got nothing better to do than attack a really, really good woman, our true mother. Yeah. Nothing better to do out there, do you? Well, do I have any solution? I just gave one. I find it interesting that we just fostered a German Shepherd puppy here, and my daughter goes and checks out and says, hey, listen to this, Mom. All these German Shepherds have to be put down, not because there's something wrong with them, because there's too many. They're asking breeders, stop breeding German Shepherds, we don't need them. Going, oh, now this happened. I'm going, oh, well, maybe we do need them. Too difficult, too hard to figure out how to keep a couple of dogs with a security guard at a school, lock the building down, have a couple of dogs with a security guard, and so that something like that will never happen again. That's too difficult to figure that out. Well, it isn't too difficult for people to run their mouth out there every which way, is it? Right? Yes? Okay. Well then, good. Yeah. I guess we'll just wait for the next one to happen. That's what we're going to wait for, right? We're always waiting for someone else to do something. I'm not there at these schools. I know our mountain schools are well prepared. That's not going to happen there. It hasn't happened there so far because they take precautions beyond of what is required. Beyond of what is required. Did you guys just hear me? So the parents have to get involved in their schools. They have to say, okay, let's see, what are the security measures here? You as the parent has to get involved to keep your children safe. Yeah, sadly, from lunatics, from people whose mental health is not right. That's a sad thing. But you can't blame anybody else out there for not being prepared, because that's going to keep happening. It's just happening. Okay? Yeah. Maybe people just need to get away from all the left stuff and all the right stuff and just say, okay, I don't care about that side. I don't care about this side. We got children to protect. For events, for unseen events that keep happening with people who are losing it. And letting criminals out of jail, bailing them out of jail, or, oh, well, they're not really criminals, they're what? I mean, one thing, having seen all the videos where people go into stores in California and just load up their backpacks and garbage bags and then ride out without paying, should tell you something. Should tell you something. Any of these stores would have had a dog, beware of dog, that would have been, nobody would have stolen anything out of them stores. I can guarantee you that. Well, anyway, my condolences again to all the families. Yeah, it's a little late to feel sorry for any of it, is it? I think being prepared as a parent, rather than be sorry or anything, I mean that in a, right? Maybe that's what we need to start doing. Rather than hope. Well, I hope, I'm praying, nothing's going to happen to my child. That's not going to happen to my child's school. There's so much money out there for everything else. We can't protect our own children. Yeah, well, okay then. All right, well then. What is there to do? Do people think that I homeschooled for 10 years just because I went to the school where my oldest one was supposed to go to, and I watched. I sat in a car watching their outside yard, which was all concrete. There was not a blade of grass or anything. I watched and I'm going, and the building, no, I'm not, no. not sending my child here. This is not where I want my child to go. My child will not be safe here. That's why I started homeschooling. Yeah. And when you live in the city, you can't just nilly-willy send your kids wherever you want to and find the best school. I could do that in my mountain community, actually. Yes. I had to take a lot of the responsibility of driving my child to the bus stop, which was 5 miles away, and pick her up again, and sometimes have to drive her all the way to school, which was 20 miles away, 15 miles away. 15. Yeah, yes, yeah. Could have just sent her to the one school where Charles, no, my child's not going there. I want my child to go to the best school in that county. I could have just driven her out to the half a mile to the road, and then she could have picked the bus. And right? No, I drove 5 miles to the bus stop where that bus would take my child to the school I wanted her to go to. It was worth every mile, every minute. Yes. Okay. All right. That's what I did as a parent. Anyway, that is that. I had to say something. Not everybody's going to like. I don't think anybody's going to like what I have to say. Well, so be it. I said it anyway. Can't blame anyone around you, anyone out there for whatever they carry, this or that. Okay? If you haven't done your own part. In the times that we live in now. In whatever you have supported as well. It has consequences. It does. Dogs still believe they're your best protection. Yeah, you don't think so? Why not try it? I wish the school would try it. Oh, but that's not legal to have it. Yeah, exactly. The best protection is illegal. just poof. I'm not getting it. Not getting it at all. Well, anyway, that's what I wanted to share today. I know I must increase. Interestingly, I went physically through a lot of pain in the last 3 days. Lots of it. I couldn't, it just, not sure why. Now I think I know why. And one way to contribute, again, we think spirit world can't do anything. Well, they can if we do first something. We have to work together with God and spirit world to protect our own children. Then we have to use our own common sense to do so as well. It's a give and take. It's a working together. And otherwise, we're willing to take these chances. We're willing to take these chances. And don't be bamboozled by people who just want to tell you, okay, I'm done. I'm not going to say any more. Yes? Consequences. We're looking at consequences. On what you want to let people get away with. And put good people in jail. Yeah. For what? I'm not sure. It's very sad. God's love and blessings always, and I will talk to you all another time.